Recession. Recession is an economic condition that is caused by the amount of spending that is generated by the economy shrinking for one reason or the other. We've seen some pretty big recessions. In 2008, we saw a really big recession that was caused by the housing market. And it had ripple effects throughout the economy, causing, spending to go down because there was a lot of money that was tied up into housing. There was a lot of tied up into rental properties and things like that. And when that money suffers or dries up, what happens is it goes out and people stop spending more money elsewhere. Most of the time, it lasts for a short period of time, and the economy starts picking back up, and it straightens back out. And what does that mean for you in the bouncy business? What does it mean? Should you be scared? Is there things you should be concerned about, or things you should do to help protect yourself? What should you do? I've seen probably 2 or 3 recessions while I've been in the bouncy business, and every single time I continued to grow through those recessions. And there's reasons why. It's not just luck of the draw, and honestly, the way that your business is structured is going to have a lot to do with it. But there are things that you can do, and that's what I want to talk about today. Is I want to talk to you about things that you can do to bounce through the recession. It's coming, and the signs are there, and I want to be perfectly honest with you. I believe that it's already been here. I believe that we've been in it for probably 6 months, and it's been hidden from view for whatever reason, political reasons or whatever. I'm not going to get into this side or that side or whatever, but I can tell you, I have seen the signs in the business side of it, of it occurring. And it has been, spurred on by the fact that we literally just came off a huge wave of massive growth. And now we're going to kind of hit the backlash of this return from that. The bounce house business is almost recession-proof. And I say almost because if you do things the wrong way, it can hit you hard. And one of the biggest things is if you've gone heavily into debt to finance your company, you probably need to do whatever you can do to try to mitigate some of that right now. Because if you're not at a point to where you're generating revenue to outpace the whatever you've got as far as bills going out, when you're in the business, there's a huge upside for profitability, unless you have taken on debt and you've gotten into a situation where you're doing a lot of spending to do the business, and then that saps all that, and then basically what's going to happen is you're going to be working to fill your gas full of truck and pay your insurance, and there's not going to be a whole lot left. And the bad thing is that that money that goes towards the finance of your units is going to also be used for the life of your unit. So if this struggles on for a couple years and you're literally just doing it to pay back your bills, what's going to happen is you're going to work for the bills for a long time, and then once you finally see the light of day, you're going to be struggling with older pieces that have some wear and tear on them, and it's going to be difficult to try to replace those, and spending and borrowing and things like that may have dried up by that time. So if you can do it, and it may be beyond the point of no return, but mitigating your debt is probably going to be a problem that you need to solve before we get too deep into this. The bounce house business is recession-proof in that it allows you to market something to a customer for a variable price that allows them to fill that niche of entertainment, and you can discount a price, or you can create a price point that is lower than other entertainment that they may do. If you simply go to the movies with your family, you're going to spend more than you would spend on a bounce house in your backyard, or one of the smaller units. So a trip to Disney or something like that, you're talking about a huge expenditure. You can have at a lower price point for these customers, and you can actually be a relief for them, because they have to do that entertainment. I mean, birthdays are not going to stop, and they're going to entertain their children. So you just need to start marketing, pivoting from the kind of marketing that you've been doing into a marketing that says that you're the cheaper option, you're the less expensive option. You need to stay home and do your party at home, and we can help you do a cheaper, more economical birthday party that allows you to entertain your family and build those family memories for a price that's not going to break the bank. And that's how you're going to beat this recession. In fact, you're going to excel in this recession because of things like that. So that's how you want to shift your marketing. Become the cheaper option. Become the guy that is less but provides just as much or more entertainment, and something that they're going to enjoy. Is you need to start shopping around for everything, for your gas, for your any of your expenses, anything that's going to be more than it should be. Obviously, you need to find the cheaper route. You need to find things that are going to be save those dollars. Sometimes just because it's convenient, it saves you a little bit of time. It doesn't fix the problem of it being more expensive, especially in a recession when you're counting every one of those dollars. You need to make sure that you have what you need. Another thing is you can barter. You could swap, oil changes on your vehicles. You can swap. My t-shirt guy is going to do some t-shirts in exchange for a water slide. So there are things that you can do to kind of swap out to make it worth your while, and to make it where you're getting the most out of it, and you're making financial sense. You can also barter some of your household stuff and maybe mitigate some of your bills that way. Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be able to, swap your light bill for a bounce house, but if you do have a small repair or something that pops up, there's no reason why you can't contact a repairman and say, look, help me out and I'll help you out, and we'll do a little trade, little bargain here, and then we'll give you this for at least some of the price, if not all the price of whatever the repair is. So those kind of things can help go a long way. Also, you need to try to shift towards anything that's going to save you money. So for instance, if you're doing a lot of credit cards, you can ask them to write you a check or do cash payments that save that credit card fees. Those kind of things will add up in the long run. Doing the things that you need to do to save every penny and just be mindful of it. It's very, very important. Make sure that you're doing your part. So another thing that I want to caution you guys about is you need to understand that when there is a recession and when times are bad, the customers are going to react as well. And again, there's no real way, no easy way of saying this, but you just need to be mindful of your money as well. Make sure that you secure the payment when you're supposed to secure the payment, which is before the rental, and just alleviate any of the opportunities for someone to have a bad time, and you're the end result with non-payment or bounce payment or chargeback or whatever. You need to make sure that you secure your payments in such a way that you are lessening the chance of there being an issue. Make sure that you have a signed contract. Make sure that contract also explains what they're doing and when they're doing it, and signing off on the fact that they received the unit and that they're happy with the unit, and the unit is clean and the unit is delivered on time and the whole 9 yards. So there's not a situation where they're saying that it was something different and that they're getting a chargeback for a reason other than they're not happy with the unit. Also, I'll pay you after the event, or honestly, if you're not dealing with a reputable organization, school, church, business that you've dealt with before and they're not going anywhere, and they've obviously got the means, and this is just an accounting situation, then fine. But I've had small churches, I've had schools, I've had organizations, businesses that you would think they wouldn't want that negative connotation, but they're suffering too. They're going through rough times, and your inability to save some money. So just be careful. Be very, very careful with that, and make sure that because the last thing you want to do is do the work and not get to pay. Now, if you're in that situation, do everything that you can do to try to secure the payment, but don't fall into a situation where fool me twice. I had a preacher, and I'm not going to name any names or anything like that, but I had a preacher several years ago that got some units for his church. He paid with a check. The check bounced, and I didn't feel like I needed to get into a situation where I was trying to hurt him or the church or something like that. So I gave him a ton of leeway, and anyway, it went on for a year, and finally the next year came along and he said, hey, I am so sorry, things are what they are, blah 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 blah, let's just bring another unit, and I'll pay it all up front in one big lump sum. I brought the other unit. It fooled me twice. He paid with another check, and darn if it didn't bounce too. And then I never heard anything. So I mean, there are people out there, and again, I don't know his circumstances. It could have 100% been on the up and up, but it's your money, and this is a true business. This isn't a hobby. This isn't a toy. This isn't a game or anything like that. Even though a lot of people may act like because you're dealing with children, and you're in a situation where you're doing things that are fun activities and that may not be taken seriously. It is a serious business, and it needs to be treated so, and you need to treat it so, and you need to make sure the customers treat it so, and you need to secure your payment, because your entire business runs off that. So if Don't let that part be part of the problem in your business. And again, it's going to kick up. It's going to step up. It's going to be a situation where there's more and more chargeback. There's more and more people who are, because they want to have the fun for their kids, but they may or may not have the funds to take care of it. So, you just don't need to be in a situation where you're going to be tricked or fooled or whatever.